Boom, shakalaka boom. You've tuned in to the free-range human show of choice, your daily dose of reality radio. This, my friends, is the Clay Edwards Show, and I, my friends, am, was Clay Edwards. Coming at you live in the Men's Health and Women's Wellness Studios from the lovely Cotton Exchange Plaza, our little First Amendment and Second Amendment outpost right here in the lovely, quaint, patriotic town of Flora, Mississippi. Can I get a hell yeah? Hell yeah! Good morning, everybody. We're streaming worldwide at WYAB.com as well as the TuneIn app and Alexa if you want the audio version of the show, audio only. And we're, of course, on 103.9 FM, The Big Stick, WYAB. And one of my favorite platforms that we stream upon, or platforms, is the video platform. It's the best way for you guys to interact with myself and one another at Facebook, at Rumble, at X, and at YouTube. Just search Save JXN. With the exception of Rumble, there you will search Clay Edwards Show. Keep it real simple. We're on social media. Yeah, all the aforementioned ones. We're also on Instagram and TikTok. We have two separate accounts there. At Save JXN, where I post original content specific to those platforms. Usually, I do post some reels from this show if I think it's relevant. And then we have at Clay Edwards Show on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube that are specific for the clips of this show. I know that's a little confusing, but we update all of them multiple times. I say we, I pretend there's a team here, but it is a team. You guys cheer me on and motivate me and drive me. So it is we, my family, the time it takes to do this away from them, because this is not a 9-to-5 job by any means. So when I say we, I'm talking about the people behind me who have stuck beside me. We update those sites daily, 4 to 5 reels per site per day, clips, etc. Say all that to say, I hope you'll give me a follow at any of those. At Save JXN, at Clay Edwards Show, you'll find it. Don't forget, we have a Facebook group. We've had it for several years now. I wouldn't say I deactivated it, but I set it where I was the only person that could post in it for well over the last year, unless I approved it. I finally got some great moderators on board that understand what is spam and what kind of content that I like and don't like and what kind of content will get us in trouble. I mean, look, I know the tagline for this show is breaking rules when necessary, but if we get kicked off of Facebook or whatever other platform, that's not doing us any good. So there's certain things that we don't allow in the group, external links being the main thing. So anyway, just search Facebook, Clay Edwards Show. A group will pop up. Join the group. You got to answer a couple questions. We really do our best to keep trash out, to keep fake profiles out. And I don't care. You can be a hater. You can have disagreements. I don't have a problem with that. But there's some trash that just isn't allowed. Anyway, so we just ask you a couple questions, make sure you're not a bot, and boom, you're in the group. It's just that simple. Love to have you as a part of that community as well. All right. We got all that out of the way. Ding, dong, Chockway's gone. Ding, dong, Chockway's gone. Free at last, free at last. After 8 long years under the Lumumba reign of terror, it is officially over. 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 Man, it's just a breath of fresh air knowing that those clowns, Lumumba and his sister, are long gone. I've been using a photo for my thumbnails for the last couple of days. Really, I've used it for a while now, running through the elections and now And it's the photo of Donald Trump and his lovely bride, the most attractive, times 10, first lady that we've ever had. I mean, about 8 years ago, we had one that wasn't even a woman. So the bar was set low, admittingly. We've had some very unattractive first ladies in this country. Ugh. Anyway, his lovely supermodel wife, first lady, J.D. Vance and his lovely wife. How about our first and second ladies, right? I'm not sure if JD's wife is an actual immigrant, but she's of immigrant descent. She's Indian, right? So I'm not sure if she was born here or not. I don't know all the details there. But either way, immigrant descent. Then the lovely Miss Trump is an immigrant. And they keep saying that we don't like immigrants. We love immigrant women. We love immigrant women. Some of them. But anyway, there's a photo of them waving bye to Joe Biden, Dr. Jill Biden, Kamala, I refuse to call her Kamala Harris, and her husband, who she doesn't even share a last name with, and I don't even remember his name, cuck, loser. Anyhow, there's a picture of them waving by as Marine One takes them away. Should be taking them to Guantanamo Bay or Alligator Alcatraz, but, they didn't ask me what I thought. Error, in my opinion. There's a photo of them doing that, and I love it. It's iconic. So I've been taking that photo and in my best Photoshop skills possible, just gluing a photo of Chokwe in his little gay-ass skin-tight suit that he wears. I don't even know what color it originally. I think it was yellow originally, and then my boy Michael Photoshopped it orange for me. So it sounds like this bright peach orange. Kind of missed on the color a little, but we were thinking orange jumpsuit since he's going to prison. So he's got an orange suit on, and it's kind of gayed up a little bit because, he's definitely going to be a bottom when he gets to jail. So we got that photo, and then I got a picture of Rakia holding a sign saying, "It's about us." God, we know it's about y'all. It has been about the Prince and Princess of Jackson for the last 8 years. Y'all haven't shut the F up about it. We know it's about y'all. Well, guess what? Now it's about us. Now it's about everybody else. It's about the 843 people that died under y'all's reign of terror. It's about their memory. All because you don't like the police. All because you thought there was a better way. All because you wanted to have the most radical city in America. Now you're gone. And Chalk, here in the next 12 to 18 months at some point, going to be walking around prison with his finger through another man's belt loop, doing stuff, having stuff done to him. But I mean, again, if you like it, is it prison or is it Club Med? Going to be like a big carnival cruise up in that prison. Oh, I said what I said. Chokwe couldn't help himself. He had to tell one last lie on the way out the door on the last day. I mean, just one last big old lie on the way out the door. Now, what is that lie, you may be asking? Well, I'm glad you asked. He decided to say, and Kingfish, I'm looking on your website now. I hadn't had a chance to look in a couple of days, but I'm just curious, does Kingfish have anything about this on his site? Because he wanted to argue with me about this. And I told y'all, Dayamara, yep, here it is. Dayamara would not be reopened before Chokwe left. Kingfish tried to argue with me about this. I said it'll never open again as long as Chokwe is mayor of Jackson. Now, Chokwe, on his last day, as if for some reason to try to prove the Clay wrong, said that it was now back open, when in fact it is not back open. Let's see here. Is there a point where I can fast forward, or how long is this? That's 30 minutes. We ain't listening to that. Is that Rakia at the beginning of that video, or is that what's her name? Who's the girl that is the press rep, the information director, public information director for Jackson, used to be on the news? She's terrible. She is absolutely terrible. The way she has treated her media counterparts the last few years, good luck finding a job. Of course, I mean, that's probably, is it okay, like when these White House reps, these White House public information directors, they always for the last few years have ended up in jobs at MSNBC or Fox News or CNN or wherever. Is it like that in Jackson when the public information director, when their term is over and they're not retained by the new administration? Do they go work at the news? I don't know. I haven't paid that much attention up until now. So I'm curious to see where she'll end up at, if she'll end up back in the news. But anyway, Chokwe lied, and how I know he lied is because his mouth was moving. But I'm going to read this right here. I knew it was a lie when he said it's open, but we still got to install the fire curtain. Then it ain't open. You can't open without the fire curtains. The first thing that came to mind. I think I was telling Sean that on the phone yesterday, and I hadn't had I've been swamped. I hadn't had a chance to jump online and read a whole lot of extra stuff. But Kingfish has got the highlights here, which basically what it should read is Clay was right, I was wrong. But it says Mayor Lumumba announced the reopening of Thalia Mara Hall. It has been closed for nearly a year after microbial growth was discovered. His Honor thanked outside engineer. These names. Imad Al-Turk for his work on the project. Mr. Al-Turk said that the remediation work, I'm like, redemption, that is a strange choice of words. That the remediation work has been approved by the auditorium, is cleared. Let's say this again. The remediation work has been approved, and the auditorium is cleared. The state fire marshal approved the reopening. The engineer said a new fire curtain had been ordered and would be installed later this summer. A second chiller will be installed later this year. Mayor Lumumba thanked the citizens of Jackson for allowing him to serve as their mayor, as his wife stood by his side in this unique press conference. A reporter asked which project he held most dear. The mayor said he was proud of, you can't make this up right here. He was proud of stopping the state takeover of JPS. He said he was grateful for the money he secured for the water system. Yes, you did such a phenomenal job by preventing the state takeover of JPS that they had to close nearly a dozen schools. Great job seeing it through the storm. Ironically, they did the city did the state a great favor by fighting the takeover. And now you see the fruits of that labor as JPS is, again, consistently one of the worst districts in the state. And that's not a shot at all the teachers. I know there's some good teachers there. I know there's some good coaches, some good administrators. I 100% know that. And I've met some of y'all, and y'all voiced your frustrations with me. I know. But overall, y'all suck. I'm just going to say it. Overall, y'all suck. Not the ones that listen to this show, of course. Y'all are great. I hope you find other jobs somewhere. Or maybe they'll try to fix this and get an actual man leading this, or a woman leading the ship down there that knows what they're doing. And then he says, and I need to take a break, but I just can't stop here. Yeah, I've got to stop here because if I get on this water rant, it will be 9 o'clock getting out of here. But I also want to talk about, it doesn't matter who's running the city. apparently is ran by idiots that don't understand satire. When we come back, I'm going to tell you how Clay and Sean almost got arrested yesterday for an online prank. That's right. We almost got arrested for an online prank because the people who run the city of Jackson, the Jackson deep state bureaucrats, tried to have us arrested. We'll be right back on WYAB. To the Clay Edwards Show live here in the Men's Health and Women's Wellness of Mississippi studios. I was just online during the break there showing everybody watching on the live stream at SaveJXN on Facebook, X, YouTube, and Rumble some of the new hat designs that we dropped this week at buyfafo.com. That's buyfafo.com. B-U-Y, as in spend that money. Buyfafo.com. Some of these new trucker caps. Really, we call them trucker caps. I think they're more like baseball caps because they're not like the big fluffy on the. These aren't cheap truck stop style foam hats with mesh on the back. These are legitimate, good. That Richardson 112 style hat. I'm not the biggest fan of the Richardson brand. I found a brand that fits a little better called Pacifica. I just like it better. It's the same money. It's not a money saving deal. It's just a better fitting hat, in my opinion. So anyway, we've got 25 new hat designs, and there's one special one on there. You know, I never said I would never sell anything with a cuss word on it, but we do have two items with the F word blatantly spelled out on it for those who dare, those that want to set themselves apart, those that want to trigger all liberals, especially purple-haired cat women. Now that I like cats, I really don't like making that joke, but it is a solid red in the theme of Make America Great Again hats, and it says full F word, around and find out. It's available on the site today. Only online. You won't be able to buy this hat in person. You won't be able to say, Clay, give me one and meet me here. None of that. You got to order it online at buyfafo.com. But that aside, swing by and check out. We got the Bottomland camo. We got the duck camo. We've got the urban camo. And, of course, we got all your favorite colors, black with the white back, khaki with the brown back, black with the gray back. Every hat is available with 4 different versions of the FAFO logo, 2 different leather patch logos. We put a whole lot of time and effort into this. I would love it if you'd swing by and check it out. And, of course, we got a ton of shirts to go along with it, too. Really proud of this. You guys asked for T-shirts with stuff on the sleeves. You got it. The OG FAFO logo, the G.I. Joe style. And we now got shirts with. We took Clay Edwards off the front of it. The Clay Edwards show is no longer tied into the FAFO logo. We moved my round logo that everybody likes so much. It's on one sleeve, and the American flag is on the other sleeve. Some of the shirts, the flag's in full color. Some of the shirts is only in white. When you get to shopping around the website, you'll see. Spent a lot of time updating the website. I got real shirts on the way, too, for a full photo shoot with some models and myself. So really excited about all the new merch. Buyfafo.com. I want to thank all the people who have already ordered something. And we do have the FAFO flags back online. That's right. The big FAFO flags for your boats are available at buyfafo.com too. All right, man. I appreciate you guys bearing with me. I told y'all this platform's like a 3-legged dog. It's all got to work. Because if one leg falls, it puts your boy in a bad spot. I'm going to be back over there selling cars. Not that anything wrong with selling cars. It just ain't what I want to do in life right now. So get over there, support your boy, buy a shirt, buy a cap, buy a flag. All flag. Every purchase comes with a free FAFO sticker, or you can buy 4 stickers for $5. That's it. I'm good. No more show today. That's all I wanted to say. Ha, I'm kidding. All right, look. So the internet is full of idiots. Hey, somebody just ordered a shirt. Thank you so much. Dread, thank you, brother. Fred just ordered the explicit red effed around and found out hat. Thank you, my boy. The first person to buy the solid red dirty word version of the effed around and found out hat. That's what I'm talking about right there. I'm going to throw in something extra for you, brother, just for being the first to do that. Thank you so much. All right, so if you follow me online or you follow my fellow radio host here, Sean Yurkaran, online, we've had this little joke going for, however long, about us going to tear Chalkway's name off the airport sign. And so Sean posted this 3 days ago because I want the backstory is relevant here. Sean says, "Dear City of Jackson," and y'all be sure to listen to Sean and Lindsay right here from 12 to noon. From 12 to noon. That'd be a short show. From 12 to 1 every Monday through Friday on Crossing the Aisle. "Dear City of Jackson, if you're looking to trim the budget, Clay Edwards and I would be more than happy to volunteer our services, free of charge, between 2 and 4 p.m. this Tuesday to remove the Chalkway Lumumba mayor sign at the airport entrance. Thank you for your attention to this matter." Well, I made a video yesterday, and I would play it, but I'm not sure that I didn't call the mayor a couple cuss words. Former mayor, the Prince of Jackson. Could never be a king. He's just a little prince. His daddy was the king. But I may have called him a couple bad words. But I made the video because somebody sent me a picture that his name had already been removed by 10 a.m. His name had been removed from the airport. I mean, these black mayors, they take that name on the airport real serious. Like, that is the planting of the flag. This is my airport. The money they wasted on that sign, I bet you could have fixed the escalator, by the way, which still don't work. You're off to a great start, John Horn. You're off to a phenomenal start. Really, really got your priorities straight. Anyway, somebody sent me a picture as soon as I got off the show yesterday. So I posted it and made a little reel out of it. And I said, look at here. Me and my boy Sean, promises made, promises kept. We went right over there to the airport at 7 o'clock this morning. Keep in mind, my show starts at 7 a.m. I was here live on the radio and streaming online. I have video evidence to prove this. Stupid people. And I made a satirical video, satire. That means a joke, not real, fiction. That Sean and I had gone over there. We brought some tire tools, some tire irons, and we had ripped the Chalkway into our Lumumba words off the sign. And threw them in a pile, and now it's ready for the contractor to put up John Horn's name. I was boondoggled at the amount of people who thought that we were being serious. Some of y'all I like, and I'm even more disappointed in y'all, but that's another conversation for another day. Somebody with the city called. The only reason I know this, and I ain't trying to roll nobody under the bus here, but a friend of mine called me that's friends with the contractor. He was like, hey man, the city called the contractor kind of up in his Kool-Aid about y'all tearing the sign down with tire irons, with tire tools. And he called my buddy because my buddy knew me and could get in touch with me. So anyway, I just shot the guy a text. I apologize. I said, man, it's obviously satire. I mean, we didn't take the letters down with a tire tool. He obviously knew that. His crew did it. So I apologize for bringing any heat on to him. And then, of course, it gave me the opportunity to make a post telling everybody that the people that run the city of Jackson are absolute idiots regardless which administration is in charge. Off to a great start, John Horn. Your folks are off to a phenomenal start. Worried about people taking signs down with tire tools, actually believe in that mess. And the photo that I used had construction workers in bright orange vest in the background. You could see that it was not Sean and I doing it. I feel dumber now for having to explain this out loud. This is the first time I've actually said these words out loud coming out of my mouth. Again, as I stated at the beginning of this rant, I hope that John Horn is as fired up about fixing potholes, fixing the schools, getting the red lights working, opening Thalia Hall, which I think that should be at the bottom of the list of priorities, stopping the murder, the black-on-black crime, the black-on-white crime, the any other race upon any other race crime, all crime, economic development, keeping the water on, the trash picked up, and everything else that requires a city to properly function. I hope he's as excited and motivated and fired up to tackle that as he was to get Lumumba's name off the sign and his up on it before he was even sworn into office. Nobody was happier than Clay Edwards to see Lumumba's name come off a sign in Rankin County. Nobody was happier than me. And I'm not offended that they thought I actually did it. Kudos to me and Sean for pulling a prank so good that y'all actually believed it. I'm honored. But at the same time, I'm disgusted that the people who paid the contractor to take the sign down believed that Sean and I went over there with tire tools like Wile E. Coyote running from the Roadrunner and took the sign down ourselves. It's going to be a long 4 years in Jackson. It's going to be a long 4 years if this is the start we're off to. A Kim Wade administration wouldn't have fallen for that prank. Wouldn't have. We'll be right back. This is the Clay Edwards Show. Welcome back in to the Clay Edwards Show here live on WYAB, streaming worldwide from the Men's Health and Women's Wellness of Mississippi studios at SaveJXN on Facebook, X, YouTube, and Rumble. Glad to be here on the Big Stick 103.9 FM. This segment brought to you by our friends over at Tri-County Tree Service. Russ Borland and the team ready to get those trees out of your way now, prevent any future issues like them falling on your vehicles or your house, in the middle of your driveway, on top of you, your children, or anybody else. Yes, I go to worst case scenario. We don't need none of that stuff happening. TricoTreeService.com. TricoTreeService.com today. Let Russ Borland and the team come out and get you taken care of, get them trees out your way. You know, if you watch online, we put his banner up there for all to see. Let's see here, just make sure. And if you would rather have a phone number, let me give you the phone number, 601-940-5499, 601-940-5499. That's Tri-County Tree Service right here in central Mississippi, locally owned, locally operated. Russ Borland and his team come out and get you taken care of today. All right, man, I'm trying to find my little screen that I use. There we go. You know what? I haven't been big on phone calls. I really want to move away from them. But let's take a call here on the Mazda Jackson phone line. Hey, good morning. You're on there.
Good morning, Clay. How are you?
Hey, Sylvia. How are you doing?
I am well. Thank you for asking. I just wanted to say, when I heard you tell us that you took the name down, I laughed. Then later you posted the update and said that someone actually believed it. And then you say today that you and Sean could have been arrested. I cannot believe that someone literally would think two well-known individuals would go and destroy public property. That makes no sense. And I knew you were joking around when you first put it out there. And I'm glad you posted the picture of it because it was so cool not seeing his name there. And I was just as excited as you were. But to literally believe that you have a desire to go to jail is unreal to me. Totally unreal. And that was all I wanted to tell you. You have a wonderful day. Thank you.
You too, Sylvia. Thank you so much. I mean, look, there are some things that I am willing to go to jail for. And I don't know, maybe removing Chokwe's name from the sign is one of them. But it got done by somebody else. It's done. It's over with. I don't have to worry about it. No need for clay to fall on that sword. It is all done, gone, bye-bye. I was looking for some stuff to talk about during the break. And look, the Guns and Gear text line is 769-241-1944, 769-241-1944. Read a text or two here real quick before we go to this next story here. Today's a bit of a free-for-all. Unknown texter. Kim Wade would have saved taxpayer money and let you and Sean do it. That is a very valid point, my friend. Very valid point. I tell you what, we got a long-time caller that I ain't heard from in a long time here on the Mazda Jackson phone line. Let's go to Derek. Derek, good morning, brother.
Hey, good morning, brother. Yeah, I have to take that sign down. I'm willing to tarnish my good record for that one.
No doubt. Well, fortunately, we don't have to do it. It's already been done.
Yeah. Well, hey, I just hope we haven't traded the tyrants that we didn't know for one that we do know with this whole, election.
Yeah, I think you said that backwards, but yeah.
Forgive me.
Yeah.
Forgive me. I hope we didn't trade the tyrant we knew for one we don't know.
There you go.
Yeah. So, like I always tell people, well, we picked the lesser of two evils. Well, you're still picking evil. You know what I mean?
I'm not a fan of that. I hate that saying.
Yeah.
I like how Rhino Republicans have used that to justify them voting for Trump. Well, it's the lesser of two evils. No, you're just weak-kneed cuck. Shut up.
Yeah, or like we say, a noodle bag.
Yep.
But yeah, my brother, sorry, I've been absent, man. Been working and rebuilding and doing a lot of self-improvement stuff. If you haven't noticed on my Facebook page.
Yeah, man. I'm proud of you, brother. I'm proud of you.
Yeah, from weight loss and health and wellness to going back to school. Just doing a lot of self-improvement and
you got to
taxing to say the least.
You got to go into what they call monk mode every now and then.
If you noticed. That's exactly what I've done, right down to the shaved head. Because, I grew up in traditional martial arts, and all martial arts reflects the philosophy of Buddhism. So I went through a cleansing period. That was from social media to, unfortunately, the radio and everything else. So that's where I've been, and I did post updates, here recently. I'm on what they call the road to healing. I was on the road to recovery at first. So, and the recovery part is accepting, things as they are and not trying to mask them. So, I've been on a self-discovery journey.
Man, I'm very proud of you.
Journey.
Very proud of you.
So, you know what I went through, my divorce and everything like that. And I just try to tell men all the time, hey, man, we built this country, not the judges, not lawyers, not politicians, not Democrat, liberal, or Republican for that matter. The people did. We did. Men did. And the only reason why feminism is allowed to go rampant like it does is because they live comfortably in a world that we built for them. That's why feminism doesn't work, will not work, and will never take over. Thanks for taking my call, brother.
As always, brother, congratulations. Congrats to Derek. If you follow a lot of self-help stuff, and look, I love self-help content on YouTube. I probably listen to 2 hours a day of that type of content. Even when I feel like I'm clicking on all cylinders, I still listen to it because it helps. It's the old saying of, if you were doing something that worked and you got better, but then you quit doing it because you thought you were fixed and things quit working, I wonder what you did. Well, you quit consuming the content and you broke again. It's like people who are in the 12-step program and they think that they're fixed because they quit drinking and they quit working the program. Like people who are alcoholics and truly need to work the program, and they start skipping steps and then they start back drinking again. They're like, I wonder what happened. Well, I don't know. You quit working the program. Anyway, so I watch a lot of like self-help content. I love like Mark Manson, and I can go on and on and on dropping names, but Mark did the book, The Subtle Art of Not Giving an F, one of the best-selling books of all time. And I was actually listening to a podcast he was on last night, and so kudos to Derek. But they do this thing called monk mode, and it's where you just kind of have to go completely off the grid. They recommend a year. Just go completely off the grid, fix yourself. Get in better shape. Get your health right. Get your diet right. Get your finances right. So on and so forth. And it sounds like Derek has been doing that. And look, I'm at a point in my life where I can't go monk mode. There wouldn't be a radio show or internet show or none of that. I'm entrenched into this. But you can do versions of it. Do what you can. Go as monk mode as you can. And if you're going out too much, quit. I don't know. I can go on and on about that. I was going to play this video from a local news outlet about today or yesterday being the 5-year anniversary of the Mississippi flag being changed. We'll save that for the top of hour 2. 5 years later, what has come of Mississippi with the flag being changed? Are there any noticeable differences? Is anybody's lives different in the aftermath of the flag being changed? I say yes. And I know that's not a popular opinion amongst a lot of my listeners and conservatives, but I've told you all this. If it had gone to the ballot, I would have voted to change the flag. We won. We were the last state with it. There was no point in continuing on with it. Now, I'm as conservative as it gets, but it was time to change the flag. And I do think Mississippi has seen a windfall of economic development since changing that flag. Now, this is my opinion, but a lot of these are also facts. Mississippi has factually seen a ton of economic development since that flag was changed. Now, you can argue about the way it got changed. I still think you're wrong. I think the way they did it was legal. We can go on and on. Let's take a break. When we come back, we'll save this conversation for the top of the second hour. This is the Clay Edwards Show. We'll be right back. Welcome back in to the Clay Edwards Show. We got about 20 seconds here till our top of the hour break. I ran over big time that last segment, which, hey, it's what we do around here. That's why I always have to do live shows. Can't ever do replays. I've butchered my time slots up so bad. All right, man. Y'all don't go anywhere. We'll be right back in 7 minutes from the Men's Health and Women's Wellness Studio. Boom goes the dynamite. It's hour 2 of the most incendiary show on the RADIO, the Clay Edwards Show. We are live here in the Men's Health and Women's Wellness Studios of Mississippi. Man, so excited to be doing live radio, live streaming across the world at Save JXN on Facebook, X, YouTube, and Rumble. On the radio here in Central Mississippi at 103.9 FM. On the website at WYAB.com. I don't believe in forcing people to come to me to hear my message. We take our message wherever you are. Plenty of these platforms I would choose not to be on if it was totally up to me. But if there's 400 or 500 of you over there that want to watch it over there, if there's 400 or 500 of you over here that want to watch it over here, we go to where you're at. Like a band on tour. Band on the run. We go to where you're at. We play some venues we may not want to play, but it's because you're there. And we're so grateful for it. This segment brought to you by our friend right over at, how about our friends, should I say, over at the Manship Restaurant. Me, Shawaski Young, my guest yesterday, your Republican candidate for Secretary of State, and your state House Representative Fred Shanks from Brandon, Mississippi, went there and had lunch yesterday. Shawaski and myself got the fried chicken. No regrets, as the kids say. No regrets. My goodness. The fried chicken. Y'all mark it down on the calendar. Next Tuesday, go try the fried chicken at the Manship and the macaroni and cheese. That's all you get. Fried chicken, mac and cheese. Now, it's like a white meat quarter chicken. It's the breast and the wing still connected to each other. So good. You know, some places can overcook the white meat and it's dry. It was so good. I bet you I ate more collagen than I've had in a month in one sitting. I mean, I was just gnawing on the bones, trying to get all the meat off the bone. You know, that's where the best collagen is at. Swing by, check it out. Of course, they got plate lunches available every day. Almost, I don't know if gourmet is the word I'm looking for. It's a little bougie in a good way. $15. That includes your drink. Phenomenal. I've eaten there twice in the last 2 weeks. Got the pizza last week. Got the fried chicken this week. Can't go wrong with either. Fred got a soup that was really good. Everybody cleaned their plate. Like, we literally, if it wasn't gross, reusing a plate, they were so clean when they picked them up, they could have served them to somebody, used them to serve somebody else. That's how good the food was. Don't forget, they were also voted one of the top 65 best bourbon bars in all of America. Swing by, check out their selection. But wait, there's more. At happy hour, they have $5 bourbon picks, and it's all high-end stuff. You're not going over there. Nothing wrong with no Jim Beam. I ain't hating on Jim Beam. A $5 shot of Jim Beam is great. But you go over there and try some of these high-end private barrel select bourbons and whiskeys they got for $5. You can't beat that. And their wood-fired pizzas are half price at happy hour every day at the Manship, Jackson, right across the street from the Baptist Hospital in that building called the Bellhaven. And you got great parking right behind the building, great parking in the secure parking garage. So you shouldn't have any issues. Get over there, enjoy it. And let's be honest, that's in the Capital City Improvement District. There ain't going to be too many issues over there. So forget what you think you know about Jackson. This is the good part of Jackson, as they like to say. Get over there, enjoy the Manship. I've been twice in a week. I got an F-150. They're supposed to be easy to break into. I ain't had any problems. I mean, I know it's probably in bad taste to mention this in an ad read, but I know what people are thinking. Just address it head on. It's safe down there. I mean, I'm going down there and finding out myself. It is. They got security all over the dang place. It's in the Capital City Improvement District. That means the Capitol Police are in control of things, not the city of Jackson. You're good to go. Tell them I sent you. And shout out to the hostess. She took a picture of the three of us. She was like, I'm seeing all your notifications. I'm like, I know. And I'm like your stereotypical Joe Rogan listener. I know it. Like, they probably all think that I think I'm Joe Rogan. It's like the Jacktown Joe Rogan. Oh, yeah, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, of course, one of the notifications that came through my phone while she was taking a picture was from Spotify. Joe Rogan updates new episode. I'm like, I just can't escape the stereotype. But hey, there's worse stereotypes, right? There's definitely worse stereotypes. I could be a South Jacksonian. So, all right, let's go to this video here. This WL, I mean, I ain't saying their name. This is a local news outlet discussing the change of the Mississippi flag 5 years later. And I have not watched this yet. We're doing this together in live time, and I've got some thoughts, and I want to get y'all's thoughts. The Mazda Jackson phone line, I'm going to tell it to you now. Tell it to you. 601-879-0002. The Guns and Gear text line is 769-241-1944. We've already got some great text on it based on my last comments before the top of the hour break, so we'll read those as well. But listen to this, and then give me your thoughts on the change of the flag 5 years later.
Say 5 years ago, the old state flag flew for the final time above the state capitol. The Rainer Side's Courtney Ann Jackson is speaking with those who pushed for the change and what that's meant moving forward.
Unity was the overwhelming feeling of this flag retirement ceremony for then Speaker Philip Gunn.
Had a front row seat to watch the men's hearts change on this issue. And I have always been quick to say, I think the Lord moved in the hearts of these individuals to give us a new state image. And I got to watch these men grapple with what they thought was in their political best interest versus what they knew in their hearts to be right.
The Mississippi Economic Council had been working behind the scenes on the issue for years. President and CEO Scott Waller.
5 years later, I think we point to and say over $32 billion of investment, thousands of jobs, one of the largest investments that was made. When that company talked about its reason for choosing Mississippi, it went as far as saying, had the flag not changed, we would not have been here. That, without question, tells me it was time for it to happen.
The state has hosted multiple baseball regionals since the flag changed, something the NCAA had said in 2020 couldn't happen with our old flag still up. Reverend C.J. Rhodes had advocated for the change since his time as a student at Ole Miss in 2001, 5 years removed from the change.
There are a number of political and social issues that still plague Mississippi, and so I think Mississippi still has so much more to do, particularly for people in my generation and younger, who, even though the flag has changed, still wonder if Mississippi is going to be a state that will be a flourishing state for people across racial and class lines. And so hopefully we'll see continued goodwill, not only around the symbolism of change, but the substance of change also.
Courtney.
All right, I got to stop it right there. This was WLBT, by the way. I was told that if I use a outlet, I have to give credit whether I want to or not. So that was WLBT, even though they use my content and don't give me credit. I guess the rules don't apply to them, but whatever. Fix that real quick. All right, let me put y'all's comments up on the screen here. I want to see what you guys got to say about all this. I want you all to see what each other has to say. Get all that adjusted. Okay, there we go. I want to start right there with what that reverend said about social change and black Mississippians and all that. If a flag waving, and I'm telling you this is a guy that supported changing the flag for different reasons. If a flag waving prevented you from bettering yourself, you got a lot more problems than the flag. I want to see where you are today. If you thought that flag was stopping you from being a better person, from excelling in life, if you thought that flag was stopping that, I want to know where you're at today versus 5 years ago. What have you done to get better at whatever you were doing? Your self-help. I'm being dead serious here. This is a serious question. For anybody out there, particularly anybody black out there that felt like that flag was holding them down from advancing, from bettering themselves. Like, did its removal directly affect you in a positive way where you feel like financially or socially you're in a better place? Because all I can look at is what's in front of me. And I've got some doubts that flag dramatically improved black lives around here at all, unless you got a job at some of the big businesses that have come to Central Mississippi or Mississippi in general since its removal. And this is where I get into having a problem with changing stuff. It's just saying that, well, we need to do it because of this reason. I mean, look, Mississippi got held hostage by the NCAA and by some major corporations, and they had to change it. It happened on July 1st, which is really what day is Memorial Day on? What day was Memorial Day 2020? The day that the weekend George Floyd died. Let's see here. Memorial Day 2020 was May 25th. So y'all think about this. From May 25th, the weekend that George Floyd died, which is what started all this, within 6 weeks, somebody's calling, I'm putting them on hold. Within 6 weeks, a special session was called. Was it a special session for the flag? A special session was called. Did they all do it online? I remember some shenanigans there. Surely they had to do it online. Anyway, somebody let me know. Fred Shanks or one of our reps, if you're listening, was it a special session or was it voted for online? How did y'all do that? I don't remember exactly. Within 6 weeks, it had been changed and it had been picked, changed, voted on, the whole 9 yards. That is crazy to think. I was thinking it was longer than that. Was that not bubbling in the background sooner? 'Cause I remember us going through all the different flag options and all that, but I guess not. Let's see here. Wild Bill on the Guns and Gear text line says they could have picked a better design. Yes, special session at the Capitol. Thank you. Thank you, Wild Bill. It was a special session, so it cost us a lot of money to do it too. Now, like I said, I don't have a problem with the way that we have a representation government. You voted for representation, and that's what they chose to do. We can disagree with it, but they didn't illegally change the flag. I don't even know that that's my opinion. I think that's fact. They did not illegally change the flag. You may not like the way they did it. You may have preferred it to be on the ballot, but I think legally they were within their rights to do it the way they did. And I don't have a problem with the flag being changed. Just at the end of the day, I don't like the current flag. It looks cheap to me. I still think they should have done the one with the mosquito. I'm kidding. I think there was one called like the River. It was like the Mississippi River, and it was red on one side and blue on the other. I thought it was much better looking than the current one. But I'll be honest. I was equally as happy that it wasn't the Stennis flag. I never liked the Stennis flag. I thought it was so ironic that they were trying to get rid of one that they claimed represented racism and slavery and all this other stuff. And then you wanted to go with the Stennis flag. And I thought it was even better, the meltdown that the Stennis lady had after her flag didn't get chosen, because she stood to make millions and millions of dollars if that flag had been chosen. Because the artist, gets a cut of all that, right? Surely. So she called everybody liars and this, that, and the other. And she had a complete meltdown over that. But so what I look at is, and you see this in the comments on WLBT a lot, every time, there's some black on black crime in Jackson, somebody will say, well, I was told that if we changed the flag, that all of this was going to stop, that black lives were going to start mattering and get better and all that stuff. And now I'm going to have to kind of split the difference a little bit here on 2020. Let me see here. Where's my numbers at? This is so complicated to do. So in 2020, there were 128 homicides. So we're going to split that in half. We're going to say 60, 128, we're going to say 64 from July 1st on. We'll just split the difference, half the year. 2021, there were 155 homicides. Good Lord. Plus 155. Plus, and this is just in Jackson now, plus 114, plus 109 and 23, plus 103 and 24, plus 36 that we're currently at. So since they changed the flag, there have been 581 homicides in Jackson alone since the flag got changed, give or take a few, depending on how many actually happened from July 1st forward. You could go back the previous 5 years, which, you know what? No reason we can't do that right here real quick. Let's do that. 2016, I can't go back to 15, I don't think. Can I go back to 15? No, I can't go back to 15. Don't go back that far. It goes back to 16. So we'll just say, so in 16, there were 69. 17, there were 64. 18, there were 84. 19, there were 82. And 2020, like I said, we split it, so we'll say 64 equals, I did terrible math there. 64 plus 82 plus 84 plus 64 plus 69 equals 363. So there was actually, before the flag got changed, there was right at 200 less homicides in the 5 years prior. So, you know, to me, it doesn't feel like Black lives got a lot better after the flag changed, you know, as far as, you know, killing and all that and black on black crime. And, you know, like I said, a lot of people were told that flag was holding folks down and that it was going to make a big difference when it got changed. Now, here's what did change. And I hate how, who was the football player at Mississippi State, the running back who likes to take the credit for getting the flag changed? I can't remember his name, but, you know, they said he wasn't going to play unless the flag got changed. Not a good play there, bud. But the NCAA threatened to not send any more postseason tournaments to Mississippi. And, of course, a lot of smooth-brained idiots were like, well, we ain't getting the NCAA tournament no way. Thinking about the basketball. We ain't getting the Final Four anyway. We ain't getting no bowl games anyway. It don't matter. Yeah, well, you forget how much money those baseball tournaments and softball tournaments bring to Mississippi, especially the baseball tournaments. Philip Gunn got sent a Mississippi State national championship ring by the school. Keep in mind, he went to Ole Miss. He's a big Ole Miss guy. I mean, loud and proud rebel. And he also played football at Baylor, but he got his law degree at Ole Miss. They sent him a national championship ring because they're convinced that changing the flag is why they got to host that super regional that year. And if they hadn't hosted that super regional, did they host the regional that year too? Either way, I know they hosted the super regional. If they hadn't have been able to host that, Mississippi State feels like they most likely would not have made it to the World Series if it hadn't had to go through Starkville, which that makes the most sense. You know, the home team usually is the favorite. Let's just be honest. Now that's why you play the games. Anything can happen. They were good that year, but you know that home cooking makes a big difference. So, you know, if you're a Mississippi State fan or if you're an Ole Miss fan, those World Series wins, getting to go through Starkville and Oxford, played a big role in you winning those national championships. And again, all the money that came for the communities through that. Then, of course, you got Amazon. A caller, you're going to have to stay on hold. Then you look at these massive Amazon facilities that have come to the state. And there's some other big ones. You know, we get lost in the sauce on Amazon because it's such a massive development. But there's another big one up in the Golden Triangle and some others in the state that absolutely would not be here. The people have said as much, that they would not be here if we still had the flag. And I just say this to the people who were big supporters of the flag, and I'll tell you when we come back why I wanted to change it. We got to take a break. I got to tell you when we come back, period. We'll be right back. Welcome back in to the Clay Edwards Show. This is going to be a short segment. We're going to turn right back around and take another one. I do apologize, but I ran over 10 minutes that last segment. let's just jump into it. We'll save an ad read. Thank you to my sponsors. Quick correction. I had to figure out where I wanted to start there. Quick correction. Ole Miss did not play a super regional or a regional in Oxford in 21 or 22 when they won the national championship. They did that on the road. Thank you to the texter for clarifying that. But Mississippi State did go through. I know the super regional was in Starkville. Did they go through Tallahassee that year? Was the regional in Tallahassee? Did State play both at home? I know State played the super regional at home, but that's really a moot point. It doesn't matter. I just like to be correct when I say stuff. But either way, Mississippi State thought enough of it that they gave Philip Gunn a national championship ring, a real one, for that flag changing. Now, as far as why I wanted the flag changed. Well, let me rephrase it. I didn't want the flag changed. I didn't care one way or another. It didn't bother me. I've never flown a Mississippi flag. I'm never going to fly a Mississippi flag. The only Mississippi flag I'll ever fly is a Mississippi State flag, if I do that, which I just don't care enough about sports anymore, college sports anyway. I mean, I pull for them. I hope they win, but you know what? I hope Ole Miss wins just as much as I hope State wins, unless they're playing each other. Then I pull for State. I just don't. I don't have that fire in my belly about it anymore. I wish I did, but 2020 changed me. 2020 changed me and I'm conflicted on this because the very reason, and it's what pisses me off so bad when y'all call me a racist, because I know deep down I am not a racist. I love black people, and I just want to see y'all. I just want to see that certain demographic within inside the black community. I just want to see them start act right and stop killing each other and destroying society with culture rot. Now, I grew up arm in arm, shoulder to shoulder with too many black people, and that's why I wanted the flag changed, because I knew how much it meant to my black friends. How guys that saw that flag said it hurt them and whether they're right or wrong. They're allowed to feel however they feel. I mean, I won't say his name, but one of my closest friends on this earth happens to be a black guy. I don't want to say my black friend because he ain't my black friend. He's one of my best friends that happens to be a black guy. Guys I have fought people with, been through everything with, our children being born. I mean, he's my brother from another mother. We had long talks, and we still to this day have long talks about racism and race relations and Mississippi and all that. He said that flag, hurt him, and it reminded him of a Mississippi that he read about in history books and all these things and racism. You know what? And I can say that it visibly bothered him. And again, you can make the arguments of, he's a grown man. Why should that matter to him? He didn't experience those things. And, I won't tell you that you're wrong either. But I wanted to change because if it made my friend feel better, then so be it. I didn't care. Again, the flag ain't nothing. The flag don't mean nothing to me. It doesn't. But I'm not saying that it can't mean something to you and it can't mean something to them. But anyway, I know that's kind of a mouthful there because I don't know how to articulate that properly. But I know deep down how I felt about it. And, look at it like this. And I've said this often. You won. You fought and you kept it longer than anybody. You kept it longer than anybody. Did it really need to stay? Did it really make a difference? You can still fly the flag. It ain't like they made it illegal. You want to fly that flag? Fly it. Burn the new one. It don't matter. So, anyway, that's my thoughts on it. That's why I wanted it changed. Or why I didn't care if it got changed. I think that's a better way to say it. Why it didn't bother me. One less thing to argue about. I think that's maybe the better way to put it. One less thing to argue about around here. And I think politicians used it as a crutch for years to use as an excuse for why we didn't have a lot of economic development in Mississippi. It was easy to say, oh, it's the flag. They don't want to come here because of the flag. Well, we've eliminated that excuse. And I'll be dang if Mississippi ain't seeing a lot of economic development from big global companies. I do kind of laugh at the pro flag crew when they make that irrational argument that where's all the business that was going to come when the flag left, when we changed the flag. Have you ridden around the state lately? Have you been out to the Madison County mega site? Have you been out there? Have you been up to North Mississippi? Have you been to the Golden Triangle? Have you been down to the coast? Have you gone and seen that mega facility out there in Western Hinds County where they make tires at? Now, that may have the timeline on that may be before the flag, admittingly, but still, it's a big facility, so it came to mind. Central Mississippi, necessarily, Hinds County in particular, hasn't seen a whole lot of economic development, admittingly, but I don't think that has anything to do with the flag being changed or not being changed. Hinds County and Jackson in particular have been third world hellholes ran by complete idiots, and it's still ran by complete idiots. It's just the super idiot and his sister are no longer in charge, which is going to expose a lot of other. See, it was easy for these politicians around Jackson and Hinds County to kind of point the finger and let Chokwe, because he's so bad and he's so aggressively ignorant in pretending he wasn't bad or wasn't corrupt, allegedly, that they've been able to hide behind him and it masked a lot of their deficiencies, just like the flag masked a lot of statewide elected officials' deficiencies when they were able to just blame it on the flag. Well, we don't get economic development. Amazon don't come to Mississippi because of that flag. And I know I talk like an old Dixiecrat when I do that, old racist Democrat when I do that on purpose. And that's the way I think a lot of these black for a living politicians in Hinds County and Jackson have acted with Chokwe. Well, Chokwe is just so bad, we can't get nothing done. Well, we about to find out if that's the case. Because you got your new mayor, who frankly his resume in the Senate ain't very good, but we're gonna see. The business community, the white business community got behind him. All the guys that voted against HB 1020 got behind him included. So we'll see. But that's my opinion on the flag. Let's take another break real quick. When we come back, I will read all of your thoughts and opinions on the flag changing and see what you guys think. It really wasn't what I planned on talking about today, but 5-year anniversary. I wanted to keep it all local today. All the national news is just rinse, repeat. I don't really care about the Elon and Trump drama. Looks like the big, beautiful bill did pass. I know it goes back over to the House for some final approval and whatnot, but it looks like the big, beautiful bill is going through, and Elon's big mad about it. And look, I like Elon, and I love Trump. I ride with Trump, but I'm not ready to throw Elon off to the side either. I think Elon's a great American, one of the smartest people of our time. And Elon has autism to an extent. And he gets one-track minded. And if you've ever been around anybody with autism or Asperger's or on the spectrum, they get super focused on one thing. And it's all they can focus on. And right now, Elon's one thing is the big, beautiful bill and how much he dislikes it. So you just kind of have to deal with that. And it is what it is. I still support Elon. And I will obviously still support Trump. And that's really all I got to say about that. Let's take a break. We'll be right back. And we will take your calls and read your replies here on the Clay Edwards Show. Welcome back in to the Clay Edwards Show here live on WYAB 103.9 FM in Central Mississippi, streaming worldwide in stunning HD at Save JXN on Facebook, X, YouTube, and Rumble here in the Men's Health and Women's Wellness of Mississippi studios. Guys, I told y'all yesterday that I never mind wishing somebody a happy birthday. I don't care how big this show gets, whatever. If we go from Jackson, Mississippi to worldwide, we become bigger than Rush Limbaugh. I never mind wishing a friend of mine's a happy birthday, their kids happy birthday, any of that. And that's what I'm going to do right now. In the midst of all this, one of our youngest fans, a very beautiful young lady, is listening right now. She's on her way to today's her birthday. She's on her way to go have a little birthday fun with her mom and her friends. And she does have one of the coolest moms I know. I want to wish a happy 10th birthday to the lovely Miss Bexley. That's right. It is her 10th birthday. So if y'all see Miss Bexley out and about today, the little princess, you be sure to tell her happy birthday from the Clay Edwards Show. And, man, to be 10 again with no worries in the world must be nice. Bexley, enjoy it. Do not grow up too quick. Adulting is not, I repeat, is not what you think it is. Enjoy it. Live off your mama for as long as you can, and your daddy, and whoever else is willing to support you. This is not fun. I want back to being 10 again. But happy birthday, Miss Bexley. Enjoy your big day. We will see if we can get you a little gift from the Clay Edwards Show. All right, let's get back to it, shall we? Look, don't forget, man, if you guys, if you have a birthday you want me to celebrate here on the show, email me, clay@wyab.com, or shoot me a text the day of, preferably while I'm on the air, so I can remember it and just do it in live time. The Guns and Gear text line is 769-241-1944. Let's take a call on the Mazda Jackson phone line. Hey, thank you for staying on hold. You're on there.
Hey, that's Clay. I'm Tim. I live down in your area in downtown Brandon, but I got a story for you that ties in to the question of Ole Miss sports with the flag. It's going to get sideways, and it's a little funny, but it's all true, brother, okay?
All right, keep it about 3 minutes.
All right, I'm going to be quick. All right, you hear Jimmy Swaggart died yesterday, right?
Yes.
And we all know about Jimmy Swaggart and the three hookers, okay? My dad, his name was Ralph Henson. He actually worked for the New Orleans Mafia. He wasn't a Italian, but he worked for the Mafia. He's the one that supplied the hookers, okay? Getting to this story, one of his best friends and his employee was Archie Manning. Archie Manning worked for my dad at a Baton Rouge car lot. My dad was a general manager and this, that, and the other. Long story short, my dad was a big Ole Miss fan. Even though he was born in Baton Rouge, like I'm a LSU fan, he was a big Ole Miss fan. They actually gave Archie Manning his first car to go to Ole Miss when he went to college, okay? Knowing a lot about Ole Miss, knowing about sports. My dad worked for the New Orleans Mafia, who runs the Vegas Mafia. The Mafia in Vegas runs sports, runs Vegas, runs everything that has to do with our SEC sports, Big Ten, everything comes out of Vegas, all right? So my dad knew a little bit about how Vegas is ran. It's ran through New Orleans, the Mafia, okay? They dictate who wins and loses. But Ole Miss got caught up in right after Archie won the national championship, they went downhill. Ole Miss fans was right all these years about bad calls, being held back, bad calls.
Hold on. I got to stop you. Ole Miss never won the national title with Archie.
Oh, they did with Archie Manning.
No, they didn't.
Yeah, they did. 1958.
Go ahead.
A good friend of mine has his actual national championship ring at his house in Madison, Mississippi. He was his athletic trainer, actually. And so they did win the national championship. And so the last time they won was with Archie Manning. And since then, Vegas being tied in with controlling scores, controlling referees. Even when Alabama won the championship with Nick Saban, 4 of the referees got reprimanded and busted for fixing games to the SEC. That came out of Vegas. No. Ole Miss has not been allowed to win nothing until the flag was changed. The flag was changed, and they won a national championship in baseball. Guess what? They got the right calls, the right pitch calls, and they went. You're going to see an Ole Miss through Lane Kiffin win a national championship. All these years past, Vegas has not allowed them to win. They've been getting bad calls on purpose. Ole Miss fans are right. And this is coming from an LSU fan born in east side of the tracks in Baton Rouge, taking up for Ole Miss. Vegas has been holding them back. Because of the flag and the rebel situation, they've not been allowed to win. And I've seen it for my years, and my family knows it. They work right out of Vegas. So I'm here to tell you the inside scoop. Ole Miss has not been allowed, but they will be allowed now because of the flag change. You will see Lane Kiffin win a national championship. They will get the right calls. Unfortunately, you're hearing this from an LSU fan, Clay, and I'm out.
All right. A lot of wrong there. Ole Miss has never won a national championship in football. Never. And never with Archie Manning. Ole Miss did not win a national championship with Archie Manning. You can Google it. No national championship. If Ole Miss wins a national championship with Lane Kiffin, it will be because of the transfer portal and the NIL. It will not be because of the flag. I'm sure that won't hurt, as far as like recruiting black players. But I don't think black players take it that seriously. I don't think black players sit back and say to themselves, yeah, man, you know what? The Ole Miss welcoming committee, the Snow Bunnies were mighty nice. The Snow Bunny welcoming committee was mighty nice. That $100,000 or however much money's in that brown bag, it's mighty nice. But man, that's just that flag. I just can't do it. Man, look, too many good players went to Ole Miss and got paid when that flag was there. And I don't think it's affecting any of them. I don't think it affected any of them going. That's just my opinion. I think kids go where they want to go. Kids go where there's a good time. Football players go where the right coaches are at and the right money is at. But, yeah, Archie Manning did not win a national championship. I ain't paid that much attention to sports, but I remember that. I was a legendary troll of Ole Miss. And I specifically remember celebrating the fact that their greatest quarterback ever never won a national title. Just like I enjoyed celebrating the fact that they're the only SEC West team to not go to Atlanta. But again, that's the old clay. I'm over that. I pull for Ole Miss now. Hotty toddy. Except when it's Hell State. We'll be right back to land the plane for the day. Welcome back in. As we land the plane for the day, I got to say, okay, Ole Miss did win a national championship that the NCAA recognizes in 1960. The other ones are not recognized by the NCAA. The Mississippi Cotton Pickers Association Almanac national titles do not count. But the NCAA does recognize the 1960, which I believe they split with somebody, but don't quote me on that. Hey, real quick, I was supposed to do this earlier. We got about a minute left. I apologize I didn't get to read all of your text. But, guys, I've been going out to Core Therapy in Ridgeland there, Core Wellness and Therapy, and doing red light therapy and cryotherapy for about the last month, and it has been some of the best personal wellness stuff I have ever done. It goes so well with some of the other stuff I'm doing, like the testosterone and the semaglutide, but that cryo chamber and that red light therapy has helped me so much with pains and aches and my back and my carpal tunnel in my left thumb. Couldn't recommend it more. Go out there and check them out today, right there in the township. Core Wellness and Therapy. See what all they have to offer out there. They have the sauna, red light, heat bed, and more. I'll tell you more about it next week. All right, guys, I kind of crash landed there. Ran out of time trying to explain that, but fun show today. Y'all check out Core Wellness and Therapy right there in the township. They have the infrared sauna is what I was trying to say. And somehow I was like, red light, jacuzzi, infrared sauna, and more. They got the shake. They got the vibrating plates that are so good for you. They offer all the IV hydration and more. That's Core Wellness and Therapy. Get by there and check them out today. Look how much younger I'm looking. Up here in the face. Look how young I'm looking. That's from that red light therapy and that cryotherapy. Check out their membership packages. Tell them I sent you. I'll see y'all tomorrow here on the Clay Edwards Show.